gonna try to switch this little four-wheel drive into my side of the shop. Think I can do it? Fits like a glove. Okay, it's a little bit squishy, but it works. Well, it's time to get this Steiger apart here. This old 855. We got a real nasty oil leak on the turbo. I have to take care of that. We got oil all running down the side of the block here. That's coming from the valve covers up top. I'm thinking it's just the valve covers leaking here. And we got our exhaust elbows all rusted out, so we're going to replace that. And there's this oil leak down here on the front pump. Gonna fix that up. But what it actually came here for was this. We got coolant leaking from the heads running down the side of the block. So I gotta pull those heads off and find out how bad it is. Hopefully the liners haven't moved and we can just do heads and head gaskets and put it back together. There we are, just about there. Now all I got left is to pull the rocker covers off, pull the rockers out, pull the rocker boxes, and then I can pull the heads. Everything else is out of the way. Look at how nice and clean that is in there. Man, I love that when you get a diesel engine apart and it's this clean inside. That's a sign that the guy's been changing his oil when he's supposed to. Makes me wonder what kind of oil he's been running too. I like it. This motor's got nice head gaskets in it, so that's good. So right there is where we can see some coolant residue. And of course, if you look on the block there, you can see how it tracked down right there, running out of here. So judging by the way this looks here, I would say, so this is a bolt hole. I would say that coolant must have been leaking out of here. Could have been leaking out of this one too. Definitely seems as though it was on that side. Could have been going around here or around there. Well, we'll pull these head gaskets off of here and see what it looks like underneath, I guess. Otherwise, it's looking good though. That side's off. It does not look like it was leaking coolant out of this one. So, must have been leaking from the other side then. This one too doesn't look like it was leaking. It's all clean all the way around. Oops. Yeah, must be under that one. Yep, I would say so. You can see how it's dark all in here. That's your coolant journal there, so it would have been coming out here and then leaking out right... I should get my hands out of the way. Hang on. Got my pointer stick. Alright, so that's your coolant port there. And you can see how this is all dark here. Right up to this bolt hole, and then it kind of goes around, all the way around that bolt hole actually, but mostly right here. That's probably where that coolant was leaking through. So I'll have to check the liner protrusion and make sure that it's okay. And if it is, we just got to get the heads checked out. Well, whatever. I won't get ahead of myself. Let me clean this up. Yeah, I got it all a little bit cleaned up here. So yeah, this is definitely where coolant was coming from. That port leaking out under the gasket and coming around the bolt here, leaking to the outside and then right down to the end. Down the side of the block, but I'm also noticing that we have quite a bit of soot buildup in between these two cylinders here, which means we were just beginning to fail the head gasket between these two as well. So I'll get the gauge out and I'll check cylinder protrusion. Chances are it might be a little low here. We'll find out. Other than that, the rest of it looks pretty good. There is a little slight signs of leakage in a few places, like even here, but not too serious. So we'll see what the measurements tell us. Oh mercy! This is exactly what I was afraid of. I've got that engine deck cleaned up pretty good with a wire brush, so I can do a proper measurement here. I was worried about that number one liner being sunk because we had coolant leaking out of that port. And you can see the chattering that's been happening around here on the block. Usually that's an indication that the liner has sunk and so the gasket's moving on the block. So I'll show you in a minute here what my measurements were all, but it ain't good. All of our liners are hovering right around the minimum spec or a little bit below, and this number 3 is definitely sunk. So to check liner protrusion, this is the the top of the liner, and then here's the shoulder that we're measuring on. So there's a little lip right here that I have to bump this guy up over top of, and we're going to measure right in this piece here. Alright, so we got our gauge zeroed out, and if I roll it over that bump, we have just over -1 thou. So 3 thou is our minimum protrusion, 6 thou is maximum protrusion, and we are -1 on that corner. On this edge, we got 0. On this end, we're up about 1/4 thou, and on the last corner, almost -1 thou, say 0.75. So that liner, or at least half of it, is below the deck, and we're supposed to be protruding 3 thou minimum. So unfortunately, that means we need to pull the liners and cut the counterbores. And either I have to pull this engine out, strip it down. Well, I guess either way I have to pull this engine out, because I can't take the pan off with it in the tractor. So yeah, likely I got to talk to the customer and see what we're going to do here. But to do this right, we're looking at a full overhaul now and a bunch of block machining. Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping we could get away from that this time, but this is just the way it goes. Oh yeah, I promised I'd show my measurements. Ha! Almost forgot. So, cylinder liners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then my 4 measurements all the way across. And then I have my average and what I would need to shim it to bring it into the average of between the min and max protrusion spec. So number 1 is averaging 2.6 thou protrusion. So that's under the max spec, or under the minimum spec, sorry. And number 2 is measuring 3.1 thou, so that is just a hair over the minimum spec. Our average on number 3 is below the deck, so that's no good. Our average on number 4 is 2.6, and so that's below our minimum spec. 2.9 on cylinder 5, which is below minimum spec, and we're right on 3 thou for number 6, which is the minimum spec. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 liners that do not meet the minimum. And of course, I always do this little chart because I think visually. So this is what those liners look like, exaggerated in the deck. So 2.6 thou. Oh, I'm missing my numbers here. I don't know where they are. 2.6, 2.9, and 3. And then, of course, that one is below, so it just measures 0. So that's where that sits. There we are. So the cooling package is totally loose now. I got my mounts, my lifting hooks on there so I can pick this off with the forklift. So that's the next step. I'll get the forky and hook her up. There, finally got that cooling package off of here. So this rad is going to go outside. We'll get it blown out right away, cap off the ends, plug the hoses, cap the ends off, and we'll blow it out right away so it's nice and clean, and then we'll bring it back in and store it somewhere in here. There we go. So next up to come off is this hydraulic pump. It's going to undo the bolts and pull it back out of the way for now. After that, we have the front motor mount, which actually I'm not going to take it off there. See if I can get under here a bit. This guy here is where it's going to come off. That plate will stay here, I think, I hope. And then I got the rear motor mounts, which are back here. And then on the bell housing, I have all these bolts all the way around here that have to come off. And after that, I should be able to hook up my lifting eyes on top and pick it up, pull it out like this, and just yank her out of there. Okay, I got this all strung up on here now with my lifting load leveler dealio. I will go get Forky, put the cherry picker back on, and we'll pick this thing out. I got all the bell housing bolts out. I got it blocked. The transmission is blocked in the back so it can't tilt down. So in theory, I should be able to lift this up a couple inches, come ahead, I don't know, basically until the dampener hits the hydraulic tank, and then I should be able to basically come right out. Hopefully I'm not missing anything.